This is what Colleen, also known as Selfish Knitter, had what is it called? Chat GPT write for me. Hello, knitting community. My name is Beth, but you may know me as PandemicKnittr. I live in the north suburbs of Chicago and started knitting during the COVID lockdowns. As a paraprofessional working at a school for students with special needs, knitting has become my creative outlet and stress reliever. I love making items for myself and my family members, and I'm excited to share my projects with all of you through my video podcasts on YouTube. You'll find me as PandemicKnittr on YouTube, Instagram, and Ravelry, and I can be reached at pandemickknitter@gmail.com. Texture is my favorite, so get ready for some cozy knits. Let's get creative together. Isn't that a great idea? Let's let AI do it. Creativity is no longer for humans. Last week, I had reached out to my community of knitting friends, and Colleen went the extra mile and asked ChatGPT to create an intro for me. And holy cats! Thank you, Colleen. This pretty much sums up everything. The only thing that this didn't include in the suggestions that I was given was talking about what segments that I have. So I can't remember who suggested that. I think it was Olya in my comments from last week's episode had suggested that I add, she says, I find it helpful if podcasters give a quick summary of what they might be talking about in the episode or mention different segments that they might feature. So, with that being said, today I'll be talking about what I'm wearing in addition to what I've finished, what I'm currently working on, what I have recently purchased, and then I will go into the comments section where I will talk about what you and I have recently discussed, which I've already mentioned two of my commenters, so I've got some of that out of the way. I do want to also mention, before I get too far into this, today is June 30th, and that would be the end of the second quarter, which, for those of you who are knitting along with the Burra KAL, I am giving prizes for that. So, just so you know, I've come up with something, and like I said, you're gonna like it. It is something I've never talked about before, something completely new. If you have not yet gone to Instagram and used the hashtag PKBurraCal2023, you're going to want to. And I have told people this can include anything as minimal as buying the pattern or deciding on what yarns you want to use, caking up your yarn. You don't have to cast on to be part of this KAL. I have some really great options for whoever wins. My husband, back before I knew much of anything about knitting, I just started kind of getting into the knitting world, and he said, wow, yarn dyeing sounds like a great thing. I want to try that. So he did. I have multiple colorways that my husband dyed. We never named them. We never put them out there on Etsy or anything. We just kind of put them in a box and thought maybe someday. So there's this beautiful green colorway. And I will say I was heavily influential on what exactly he colored. So you can see that in how everything here is pretty much my colorways. My intention for this quarter is to give away 2 skeins of whatever colorway you choose, of my husband's hand dyed. These are all, this one we actually named, we called this Goodbye Blue Sky. This actually goes very well with what's currently happening in our area with all the smoke from the Canada wildfires. But these are all fingering weight 75-25 superwash nylon blends. Superwash merino, I assume. Superwash wool of some kind. We've got this lovely super bright yellow. This I would call like a canary yellow. It's not quite to the highlighter status. I don't know. Maybe you would see it and say, yeah, that's highlighter yellow. What are you talking about? But yeah, it's today's kind of bright. What else do I need to say about this? This one I really love. I don't know why I haven't done anything at all with this. I could be like wearing this by now. With as much time has passed since he colored this and since today when I'm first showing it. This reminds me of a peacock, don't you think? Anyhow, so those are the potential giveaways. Whoever wins this quarter will be getting 2 skeins of the colorway that they choose. Or you could even mix and match. Like, I mean, you know, would these be great together? Or these? Whatever you want to do. I have multiple skeins of each of those colorways. So what I'm wearing, this ties in to a comment from last week too. So you seem to be knitting tops that are rather loose on you. The top you're wearing is rather baggy on you. And then she says, sorry, but I tend to say what I think. She's right. She's absolutely right. I have lost weight recently and in fact didn't even realize how much it was until I went to put on my shorts that fit me very well last year. And I was like, I can't walk around with these on. They're going to fall off of me. So before our trip to Wyoming this summer, I went to the store and just picked up some shorts, you know, just found whatever was the right size real quick. And so there's that part of my body, but also the tops are a different size too. So this is my most recent finish. This is my Fosette. This is a pattern by Devin, Ventre of Knitty McPurly. It is also done in all Knitty McPurly yarn in her Dubrovnik DK base. The green color is Meadow, the purple is Thistle, and the blue is Beryl. I'm going to stand up so you can see how it fits. This one fits much better, I think. So I did waist shaping on this, and I also lengthened it. This is intended as a crop. So I did modify the pattern for my personal wishes. And I think this one fits a lot better than what I was wearing last week, which is a tank top that I had made maybe 2 years ago. I have been choosing more recently to knit smaller sizes. And I will say that I think part of it too is my inexperience as a knitter. That, you know, sometimes I'm not getting gauged, so I may be knitting things larger than they're meant to be. And my thought process on that has always been better big or better too big so that I can wear something a little baggier than too small so that I can't even put it on. So that's kind of, you know, I err on the side of too big. So that's that. And then as far as whips, you guys, not whips, not yet. Finished objects. I'm like doing my little chair dance, thinking about my finished objects, then realizing I said whips. But get this, I finished something. Aren't these the cutest? Little baby pants. And I just love the stripes on this leg. This, I have to say, that is not my idea. I saw the Seaside set on another podcast. It was on Knit Inc., spelled I-N-K, because the daughter of the pair who does this, she does calligraphy too. So look at that. So I've shown this before, and then I have this to go with it. I wish I could get it all on the screen together. I have to like go back to show it. But yes, sweater and pants. Cuteness! That's that set. So excited about this. This also was done in Knitty McPurly yarn. This is her Frankfurt fingering weight yarn, and it is, I think, a 75-25 blend. The colorways are Bosc and Black Forest Cake. So that will be for my niece's daughter, and I'm thinking about doing something with that gives it more of a feminine touch. I have shown these buttons before that I am intending to put on the button band on the top. And you're also supposed to add those to the waistband of the pants. So I do have enough for that. But I was also thinking about making either a headband or a hat or something to coordinate with it that would be fun. Make it a little more girly. So that's my only finished object. But the reason that I worked so feverishly on just that one item is because I wanted to get it off my needles, because I need that needle to start my Lionshead top. So I started that last night after I finally finished those pants, and I am loving this. I mean, you know, I'm still very concerned that I might not be getting the right size for me, but we shall see. So this is the texture on the top of the shoulder that I think is just so cool. And then there's, it's maybe hard to tell what's actually developing here. But this, whoo, the bag just fell. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's happening here, but I am loving doing this. I will say, this is a provisional cast on. It's hard to tell the difference in colors here, but I used a very similar color to what I'm knitting with. So this piece of yarn is waste yarn that is like running through the provisional cast on here. And right after that, you start into the chart. So provisional cast on, chart, all the way down. And it's one of those that, I mean, it's fun to work on, but at the same time, it takes a lot of focus. So, this one is, I mean, I probably spent a good 3 hours just getting this started today. I started last night. I think I did maybe the first row, maybe 2 last night. And then I worked on getting it to an actual seeable length this morning before I recorded. So that's it for whips this week, because I I just went like crazy on those pants in order to get them done so I could get this started. And I do have quite a bit of things that I have bought. Quite a bit. I have a couple of things that I bought. So you may remember last week that I had talked about that I ordered something from Wyoming Yarn and I couldn't remember what it was and I didn't have a confirmation email and this, that, and the other. So I want to let you know that it was not Wyoming Yarn's fault that I did not get a confirmation email. That was Gmail's fault. It went into my spam mail. And that's why I could not find that order. So I ordered this cute set. So this is a bag by Susan of Delightful Works. And this is her card. That isn't focusing. Is it? Is it just my eyes, you guys? If it really is, that's pretty bad for me. All right. And then this is the Wyoming Yarn and Fiber card that came in the bag. And they also sent some tea. This is my favorite tea. Thank you. And, oh, look at the inside of this bag, you guys. The little ants. Do you see the little ants? Isn't that so cute? The ants have invaded my picnic. And a nice rainbowy type color of summery yarns, specially dyed by Sweet Mountain Crafts, Carista herself. And it's gorgeous. Now, I will say that I know when I ordered this, I knew exactly what I was going to make with it. Do I remember that now? Nope. I think I was thinking about the row by row sampler cowl. I think what I was thinking is that I might hold it together with some mohair in order to make that. But I think of a cowl as like a cold weather thing. And these colors are too summery for me to make a cowl out of. I think these might become some kind of summer socks. We'll see. I might do some stripy summer shorties. That would be fun. But that reminds me that I was thinking about what I want to do for Shark Week. So I have been talking about Shark Week, that is the Politically Incorrect Knitters challenge that they're doing. It's a knit along. And so I've been thinking about what I want to do for that. And so here are my thoughts. I could do a cowl. The row by row sampler cowl by Irene Designs. I was thinking I could use my leftover yarn from Knitty McPurly in the Thistle colorway, which is the same as what I have on the body of my Fosette. Or I have this lovely brown that I had this just in stash. I ordered it a long time ago. I was going to use it for the deer on my fallow sweater, which I don't know, maybe I'll insert a picture or something. So not that it matters. I was thinking about using it for the deer and I didn't, because I love this color so much that I want to use it for something itself. Or a pair of DK socks. I bought this at YarnCon, and this is a 50-50 wool and silk blend. And so I was thinking DK socks. I could probably knit a pair of DK socks in a week. So if you guys are not familiar with this knit along, Politically Incorrect Knitters is running it from July 11th through the 18th. So check them out on their YouTube channel or on Instagram, and all the details are there. So those are my potential options for Shark Week. If you have any thoughts, comment below. I am open to your opinions and whatever you might think. So the other new to me is I ordered, let me show you the pattern. Irina. This is by Allison Green. Okay, so Irina, I saw Carista of Sweet Mountain Crafts wearing this sweater at the Knitty McPurly retreat, and I thought, I want to make that. Now, this is a crochet thing. It is with granny squares. Granny squares seem to be the in thing right now. I feel like a lot of people are doing granny squares, and I've never made granny squares before. I've done some crochet, but surprisingly not granny squares. And I've heard from a lot of people that they're really easy to do. They seem to be like the basic crochet thing to do. So I bought this yarn. It is the yarn that it was designed for. It is Berroco Tiramisu. And this, I don't know what the colorway is called, if it has a name or what. Does this say? It is, yeah, it's got a color number on here, but it doesn't have a name. It is 38% wool, 28% acrylic, 23% mohair, and 11% silk. So Little Knits had a really good deal on this yarn. So I got, this was the colorway that they had enough for my size of the sweater in. So this is the colorway I bought. This is not the same colorway Carista had, I don't think. But hers was gorgeous too. And I was hoping to get that same colorway, but they didn't have enough. So this is the other colorway I bought just to get the free shipping. So gorgeous stuff. Little Knits, I highly recommend them for bargains on yarn. That's all of the new to me things that I purchased this time. I did, however, watch someone who she's way, like, she doesn't need my help being promoted. But I watched the Wool Needles Hands podcast, which I've watched her before, and you know how there are people who you watch and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to watch them all the time. And there are people who you watch and you're like, oh yeah, that's good content. You know, at first I was slow to warm up to her because she doesn't do the usual format. And I think I'm sort of a creature of habit where I'm like, where are your finished objects? I want to see your finished objects. Show me your finished objects. What are you working on right now? So it's a different format. She kind of comes up with different ideas each week that she talks about. And I just wanted to mention that I enjoyed watching her. She did a craft room organization thing recently, which I thought went along well with the Texas Peach Knits Fluff Your Stash Mal. And so I don't know whether she's aware of that or not, but she she did a lot of fluffing her own stash, and I found her fun to watch. So just wanted to mention that that's another new to me thing. Enjoyed watching her. In the comments, other than what I have already mentioned, I wanted to mention that Sharon responded to the thing about the glasses. So if you've been following along, I have a bunch of pairs of glasses. I leave them. These are my craft room glasses. If I leave the craft room with these glasses on my face, the next time I come into the craft room, I don't have glasses in the craft room anymore. And that's annoying. So I had talked about that in an episode, which kind of cascaded into a whole conversation about glasses. But Sharon had mentioned that her husband left her glasses on the roof one time, and that they found them there. So I just thought that was hilarious, and I said, I need to know more about the story. So she says he had gone up on the roof to check something about the chimney, took them off to look close, and left them there. He found them before the day was over, after we both thought about every place he had been that day. So apparently it was one of those where you like rack your brains, like, I know I put it somewhere. I know where could they have gone? What did I do with it? I had a similar situation with a stitch marker this morning. I'm like, I know I had it here right in this spot on my knitting, and I took it off with intention and put it somewhere that I didn't realize. But first when I sit on my sofa downstairs, in this air conditioning time of year, I blanket up. So I was sitting on the family room couch with a blanket underneath me as well as a blanket over me. And I went through the chair, and it turned out that I had put it on that we have like a fold down part of our couch where it has drink holders in it and stuff. So I had put it on that part of the couch, but I had put the remote on top of it. So not exactly the roof. Nothing like your glasses story. I love it, Sharon. I love it. I'm happy he found his glasses instead of them like being found after he ran them over with a lawnmower after the wind and rain knocked them down or something. Could have been worse, right? Let's see. I think that may be everything worth mentioning from the comments, because I have really gone through the comments the whole episode this week. So that was interesting. That was different, you guys. So next week, who knows? Your comments may be at the beginning, they may be at the middle, they may be at the end. So if you feel so inclined, please comment below about anything I've talked about this episode, or if you have something totally new you wish to discuss with me. I am open to talking about anything. Please like and subscribe. Survive and thrive. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.